So Scott, what are you going to call this scenario?
Hammer to the biscuits.
To the biscuits? I'm going to call it hammer time. Hammer time. Hammer to the teeth. Germany, 1944. 6.5 turner. American versus German. I think, yeah, I played the Germans, you're the Americans. The Germans are the attackers, if I recall. I think we played this 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it took us. I think we did it over multiple playings. It took a while to finish it.
And we are in Blealf. I'm sure I'm butchering all these names. Germany. Again, just 345 miles, I guess, southwest of Berlin. The Americans are pushing into Germany. And this is a scenario that takes place, another village type scenario. Capture, in this case, the village. It looks like the village square. You have to control that and the buildings around it. I'm going off of memory again. Oh, this is from Starter Kit 2. This is our reintroduction to guns and ordnance. So here I am, the Germans over on the right, set up on the hill, and you're the Americans protecting the village.
Yeah, I didn't want to set up too far forward, but and I kind of wanted to spread out. And it started out pretty good. Your first move. I was hoping to break a few more guys, and I did. But I think I broke one or two.
Yeah, I set my mortar up in hindsight, not a very good place. I should have set him up in hex K4. Would have had more shots. I think more opportunity more targets. But my first shot, I tried to lay smoke in 05, which failed. So to get cover on my guys, but it seemed to work out okay. I got a pretty good thrust forward on the first turn.
Yeah, I think we're in your second move now. No, it's my turn.
I think it's your turn. Yeah.
One of my AT guns just popped up.
Yeah, I forget where you took a shot. Probably just across the street there.
Yeah, and I immediately ran out of HE.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what was the HE number? Like 6 or 7? Yeah.
7, yeah.
Yeah, I fired smoke, missed, and ran out of smoke first shot too. So.
Yeah, and there's my second AT gun up on the hill in the back.
Which I would have put it there too, because that was a really good spot to put it. In U5 there.
But this is where it starts to go south. You broke my whole center right there, 2 stacks. You broke those guys.
Yeah, this is the hammer time or hammer to the biscuits part.
Yeah,
it starts getting brutal.
Your heavy goes on a rate of fire tear. I think your mortar was pounding me. I couldn't roll for crap. I couldn't make a morale check to save my life. You had a bunch of really low rolls, just forever low rolls.
Yeah, so you pull back. So I turned my mortar up on your guys up on the upper side of the board there in P8. Actually, looks like I broke something in there, 1 or 2 units. Oh god, then your anti-tank gun broke. Looks like in Q7.
Yeah, I think I tried. I went for 2. I had rate of fire maybe, and those box cars there.
So now I'm making my move. Most of your stacks are broken or have broken units in them right now, so I'm trying to make my moves.
Yeah, it's not far from here where I think I had only 1 unbroken squad left in the game.
Yeah, you're bugging.
Lost that upper hill. I'm losing the lower building. Lost the center. You've got guys in the center of the village now.
Yeah. And I'm trying to press in on your guys that are under DM to get them to route out.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm just trying to just hang on. I'm just Yeah, it just goes south and it
We're-
doesn't get any better. And
We're probably on turn, what, 3 now?
3, yeah.
Here's where I make a big screw up. I actually took a shot at your anti-tank gun in U5 from my mortar, and it's out of line of sight.
Well, yeah, it was a critical hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that comes later. I think I fire at it, and then I get a critical hit coming up here, and that was all a mistake. It's blocked by the buildings in 05 and 06.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I ended up getting the KIA on him here shortly, and then we noticed it in between playings, and we put him back. We put him back.
Put him back broken.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my heavy machine gun had been pounded on him.
Yeah, I end up rallying them. They rally, and then that AT gun actually kind of got back in the fight.
Yeah, towards the end,
Yeah.
it got back into it. But
This is pretty much where you're taking the 3-pound sledge to my biscuits.
yeah, my guys are moving pretty quickly and pretty aggressively.
I think really you could have almost been a little more aggressive at one point. Kind of kept waiting for it, but it didn't happen. I think I got that 8-1 leader and 2 half squads with the medium. I think and they went on a rate of fire terror too, and they.
Oh, there I got the critical hit that we were talking about.
Yeah.
That was wrong. Shouldn't have even been firing at it, but
We got my reinforcements coming on. It took them 2 turns to get into position, but I should have just took those straight up onto the hill there and went right for that build where the AT gun is.
yeah, because that's the last kind of bastion of your defense, and it's a good place for it.
Yeah, it turned into like the Alamo.
Yeah. I think being too aggressive or trying to play too quickly, you'll see in the next scenario, it kind of bit me in the butt at the end. That was an interesting one. But yeah, I try to be aggressive, but I try not to play too fast to screw things up. But I want to play faster too, so our games will kind of go a little faster.
Yeah, so at this point, I mean, my original defensive line is totally shattered, and I'm just trying to find some way to hold on to the victory location.
Yeah, you only had to hold basically one building hex in that yellow area.
I think there was one time about halfway through the game where we quit for the day, and then I think we were both thinking about should we even continue playing because it looked so bad for me. As it turned out here in the end, it actually turned out to be a pretty close game.
Yeah, it did. Because we put that crew back in U5 and they rallied, and then that anti-tank gun became a thorn in my side. Even though it was 1 or 2 infantry firepower equivalent.
2, yeah.
I think he got a couple critical hits on me somewhere.
Well, I did the one in U4.
Yeah.
You were trying to come up on the and
did you do that?
got a critical hit, but we did that wrong too. We ended up taking out the leader and the squad, but we just rolled for random selection. But
right. Yeah, if you took out the leader on that critical hit in U4, which is coming up here, I think, it might have made a difference, but if you took out the squad, it wouldn't have mattered.
Your heavy machine gun made a pretty big impact early in the game, but then once you started moving, it didn't really do too much after that.
Well, it broke for at least a turn, and then I repaired it. So it was out. Yeah, once I moved it and it broke, it was a bit out of commission. Maybe I got a couple shots here at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, its impact that I used it in the beginning wasn't there at the end. So now I've pushed you back. Basically, you're on the edge of this yellow victory condition circle. I just need to flush you out a little bit more. I didn't think the anti-tank gun on top of the hill would be the problem. I thought it would be that 8-1 stack in S4, but it was the gun on the hill that was the problem.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's to get up to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a building right on the edge of a hill crest, so I basically have to go counter-exhausted to get up to it, almost. So, or advance into it. I would become counter-exhausted. So.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, getting to that building was a pain.
Yeah, you're kind of getting all your guys lined up here to try and blow me out of the rest of the.
Yeah, that fire
village.
group. That whole thing is a fire group. From the medium machine gun all the way up to the heavy. Oh, there I just do a massive fire group. I think that's when I broke it. Yeah.
Yeah, he broke my 8-1 stack.
Try to flush you out of there.
My reinforcements are finally up to where they could do something, but
my crew abandoned my mortar a while ago. Couldn't really hit anything, so they just bugged out. And I ran them up to N7 to try to grab the machine gun from the broken squad, but I didn't understand the rules right. You can't do that. It's still possessed, so I kind of wasted that.
Well, this is another one of those scenarios that I love, but
oh, here's your critical hit coming.
Yeah, I turned.
Boom, I think that was it right there.
I think I got I maintained rate 3 times, I think.
Yeah, yeah. The die roller screwed up, but yeah, you got a critical hit on U4.
But this is another one of those scenarios I love where it just, it was looking so bad for the Americans, but as we'll see here in the end, they almost pulled it out. It was really close.
Yeah, came down to
3 close combats.
Yeah, basically. I didn't think it was going to be that close as we were progressing, but yeah. There'll be another.
I would have just, if I would have had, they were all. I was way disadvantaged in all the close combats, but one good roll.
Did you even use your bazooka at all? I don't recall if you ever even fired it.
I think I took 1 shot with it.
Yeah.
But it was like a 2 or 3 hexes. It was a miss. Yeah, I was trying to make a dash there with 1 squad up to the Alamo. They survived a couple shots, but then you finally broke them. And you forced my 8-1 and half squad to fall back.
Yeah, your 8 old roll encounters trying to make a valiant stand in S4. Yeah. So yeah, here I am moving in.
Yeah, it's like your last turn.
The very last turn. I didn't think it would come down to being this close, but yeah, I just rushed everything.
Yeah, so right now I got 3 hexes you guys try and take.
Yeah, so that close combat in S4 was a foregone conclusion. It was like an 8-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
We knew that was toast. Same with U7. I think that was pretty much a foregone conclusion. It was U5, I guess.
Yeah, the anti-tank gun crew. I think you just had 1 squad, didn't you?
At the end, I don't know what was left in there. But it ended up being another very close German victory, a mad dash at the end in close combat. But yeah, early on it wasn't looking good for you, but you held on pretty valiantly.
It was definitely a hammer to the biscuits.
Or it was an early hammer to the biscuits. You, as I was coming in, you bloodied my nose pretty good to slow me down.
The Vassal dice roller finally gave me a break.
Yeah, and
That's some good rolls.
setting up on the building on the hill is like the perfect spot for a last place to defend.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. So in this scenario, what did you learn? I guess what's the biggest thing you learned from this scenario? It was our first scenario with guns.
That's a good question. I always prepare for that. Just never give up. Really, that's one thing I take away from a lot of these games, because you just never know. You know, I need to try. Yeah, like the bazooka. I could have tried to use the bazooka more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely never give up, especially in a game where, and I think we've talked about this before, where it's a game first and a simulation second, where throwing waves of humans in a game have no consequences, right?
Yeah.
So you just let it all hang out at the end, and you might be able to pull out a victory, even though everything dies, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like still just a game. The thing I learned, I think, is, playing guns for the first time, is I need to watch my line of sights better. Me taking multiple shots at the crew and the anti-tank gun on the hill when I didn't even have a line of sight to it. I don't know why I didn't catch that during the game. I caught it when we set the game aside because we had to finish it later, and I looked at the map and like, oh crap, that line of sight's blocked, but I got a critical hit on those guys, so what should we do? So, we play friendly games, so we just put the half squad or the crew back broken. But if you're playing in but if you're playing in a tournament or playing someone you don't play a lot, it may play it out differently than the way we did it.
I guess that's one thing that I'm learning about using guns, is that guns can be pretty powerful in the game, but you can't really, most of them you can't really move, so you need to put a lot of thought into where they set up,
right?
So you can get the most out of them.
Yeah.
The one I set up on the hill, that was a good spot for it. The other one, I don't know. Other than setting it up on the hill next to the other one, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have set it up on the hill that I guess was just north of the hill of the other gun to cover the village, but you could have put that anywhere. The second gun. The one thing I also learned is, you can't. It's hard to move guns. I thought about moving my mortar, and it was just too hard to move, so I just left it there and ran off.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the guns that have special ammo. In both of our cases, I tried to play smoke my first shot, lost smoke, and you tried to use HE your first shot, lost HE.
Twice.
Yeah, both of them. When I first saw the scenario and saw you had two anti-tank guns, but they had limited HE, I thought, oh, they're not going to be much of a factor. And one of them wasn't, but the other one kind of was.
Yeah, I didn't think, with the just using AP ammo, it's only a 2 on the infantry fire table, but actually that's not too bad really all the time.
Yeah, it caused some disruption for me, especially when you get in close and there's a decent chance for a critical hit, and you get a critical hit, and that 2 plus 3 or 2 suddenly turns into a 4 minus 2, which can be deadly.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to those infantry coming up the hill behind you. Okay, so next time we're doing contested settlement, I think. There's a delay in us doing voiceover on these scenarios. That one, it plays out similar to this one, but it has a different ending, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next time. Bye.
All right.